Welcome back to Dr. Dean's Yoga Practice Restorative Series. Today we're going to be looking at Eka Pada Raj Kapotasana. Big name, short little posture. Okay, this is King Pigeon, all right? Now, I just want to make a little point about pigeon. Now, and I mentioned this before, okay? So you want to make sure that we're doing postures that are truly good for our bodies, right? And so King Pigeon I like because it's upward, right? So it's upward facing. Common Pigeon is done with the face down and the chest down and the knee is jammed and torqued and twisted. And I'm just going to say, for the record, there is absolutely no health benefit whatsoever, and I don't recommend that you do that pigeon posture that's reclined onto the mat, okay? Not even restoratively. I just don't see the point, okay? However, King Pigeon, I think, has a lot of value. So let's go ahead and go into that. So you're going to need potentially a blanket and for sure 2 blocks. And if you don't have 2 blocks, you could use anything that's, pretty solid or stationary. Okay, now for comfort, you may want to put down a little landing pad for one of your legs, okay? So that my shin is going to go here. All right, so let's go ahead and get set up. And first, let me tell you, first intention is spinal stability, and second intention is hip mobility, right? So this really helps open up the hips. And so what do we want our safety feature to be is to make sure you're getting into a lot of back extension. You don't want to make your lower back too crazy, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my shin on top of the blanket, and then I'm going to step through just like this. Actually, let me set the whole thing back a little bit more. Let's say back here. Okay. I'm going to step through. And just to warm up the hip, I want you to go ahead and shift forward and open up your heart. So this is actually like a little mini restorative workshop before we get into the full position, right? So I'm opening up my hip and I'm mostly focusing on my right hip right now. Right, so notice I'm coming into a bit of a back bend. Yeah, okay, now here we go. So I'm going to take the blocks back. And now I'm going to set both legs down. Use the blocks to help you. Slide back until the knee is on the blanket. And then gently push yourself up, right? But I want to make sure that I'm not jamming my lower back. So I actually need to lift through my heart. I need to lift up and through to get out of my lower back. Soft in the front. And then little by little, I'm going to work the blocks back. As long as I feel like, see, I'm going to make that waterfall grip. As long as I don't feel like I'm jamming my lower back. I'm going to take a big breath in. And exhale, I'm going to start to settle my hips into a bit more stretch, but I want to make sure my shoulders are down and away, and I have a lot of length happening through my neck. Okay, this is where we talk about sthira or stillness. We're looking for some stillness now. Take a big breath in, reach, and then exhale, squeeze the belly to stabilize the spine. This is the meditation, right? Trying to use that samasthiti or that idea of coolness in our practice. Take another breath in, going for a bit of length, and then exhale, squeeze your belly. Let's take another breath in to exit, and then exhale, go ahead and walk the blocks out. Okay, now this is a really easy Pratikriyasana. I'm just going to slide back. And on my hands, I'm just going to gently drift down. Now notice that this leg is straight back, where in classical pigeon, it's on an angle over here. You don't ever want to do that. Even if you can do it, there's no good reason to do it. Okay? Okay, so notice that my knee is pointing forward. And then I'm going to gently just soften for length. Now, I'm not focused on going down. I'm focused on pulling out. Breath in. And exhale. Feels really nice. Okay? So your Pratikriyasana, whatever you choose, your opposite posture, should feel really, really good. Okay? All right. So I also want to point out, and this little bottle of oil has been here the whole day we've been filming, and I hadn't said anything about it, and I keep meaning to. But so this is doTERRA. It's frankincense. And before I start my practice, I like to put 1, 2, 3 little drops on the side there. And then I like to I don't want to kill the oil, but I just want to roll it on the insides of my forearms here so that when I'm moving my arms in my practice, the frankincense continues to warm up, right? And I can smell it, and I feel like it really helps me have that samasthi, right, that coolness. But more importantly, it brings me bliss, samadhi, right, bliss, which is really the whole point of your practice, isn't it? Is that it's rewarding, it satisfies you, and it allows you to come into a meditative state and kind of ignore the rest of life and just be one with yourself and your own senses. Thank you so much for joining me for this series, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next series. Namaste.